Hey guys, this is James. We are joined, just like last week, with a special guest. Maybe for anyone that hasn't tuned in last week, can you introduce yourself?
I'm Shar. I'm a tea blogger at Oolong Owl.
Yeah.
So
you can see we have a couple special tea pets littering the table today. And today we are drinking some tea. And what are we having here?
This is a Fubric. I got this from the World Tea Expo. It's unfortunately not something you can buy unless you have an agent. We are been pitching it to a few tea vendors we know to say, hey, wholesale off this guy because this is pretty good.
So it is available on Taobao for the really adventurous. And you just gave me this card.
Yeah, put it in the doobly-doo.
Yeah, so you guys can read more about it on the description. It's a Fubric. It's from
2016.
Yeah, and it is from Shaanxi province, so not Hunan, where a lot of the Fubric come from. And we will preheat this. And how much leaf are we using here?
I'm doing 1 gram to 12 milliliters, so definitely on the high end. I find the high end, it definitely comes out a lot more for like the interesting flavors the mold gives off.
And how do you find this tea? So for those not familiar, this tea is literally like littered with these little yellow, they're called golden flowers, but it's like mold. It's like a good type of mold, supposedly. So how do you find this tea compared to everyone's most favorite fermented tea pu'er?
It is definitely very strongly honey flavored from the mold.
Interesting.
But I find it really good. It's definitely, you gotta have to kind of ignore the mold. Kind of think of it blue cheese than like, you know your pizza that went off.
So it's sort of, And I've had this a couple times, and it's an interesting tea for sure. All right, so.
It definitely stood out when I went to the World Tea Expo, and definitely it was one that people are like, what?
Oops.
Oh. So it does smell a little green, but you can definitely smell the honey, almost medicinal-like.
And this comes in giant 800 gram bricks, right?
And then I got the small one because they had a 2 kilo.
Okay.
I could not fit a bigger one in my suitcase, or I would have.
And it is fairly compressed, so I'm going to let this hang out for just a second for this first steep. And so you found this vendor with another blogger, right?
Yes, Swin's Death by Tea.
Yeah.
And we found this the first day and got completely screwed up. Like, we started in the Chinese pavilion. I had a couple different pu'ers. One was freaking pu'er done in a Keurig. And then we came across this. Like, she dragged me and said, hey, this guy's got this good stuff. And we drank this and went, whoa. And he had, like, different ones, too. Like, I got the darkest one. He also sells stuff in tea bags. He gave me a rose one, too.
And was it all pretty much these Fubrics?
Yes.
Okay.
Besides, then a selection of tea bags.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. And you've written about him too, but in your
in the World Tea Expo, the 2017 World Expo, about a couple times during that whole thing, because that was definitely the highlight of the year.
And kind of the festival.
Yeah, the festival too. Yeah, like there was jokes because like sometimes when you go to the industry only festivals, they're not intending to sell. Like they're intending for you to buy a wholesale order and them to ship you a crate of tea. So a lot of it, like when you're a blogger and you kind of want something, you have to kind of vulture circle on the last day and hope they'll sell it to you, which I got successfully got to.
Yeah, because probably a lot of them don't want to bring those teas back to China.
Yeah, like they just fill their suitcase up for the display.
Right. And this is a Chinese company, to be clear.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers.
Like so creamy.
So for those looking to compare it to pu'er, it's definitely not at all like your young raw pu'er. It's not like bitter. It's actually quite smooth and somewhat.
But it's not like ripe pu'er either. It's not dark.
No, not at all.
Woody
Yeah.
or anything.
So it really is like a separate category of tea altogether. it's got a really nice mouthfeel. Sweet, a little grainy.
Definitely like a honey sweet, very creamy. You kind of feel it kind of start to go down here.
And it has a very unique aroma for those of you that have never smelled this before. I feel like it's almost like yeasty.
It almost smells like spun sugar too, like candy floss, but with a lot of honey. Oh, on the topic of yeast though, as I believe this one is treated to encourage the mold. So if you're like celiac, I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
Like you can get this naturally. Like I know I've heard some people gotten like their brick of Heicha all of a sudden has gold on it, and that's a bonus. But this, believe this is definitely treated to encourage the mold.
Exactly. Yeah. Like to be clear, it's fermented or it's true. Yeah. Exactly. It's put in like certain environments to get these specific golden flowers. Yeah. So it's not like a brick that was poorly stored or something and has these golden flowers. It was this is very much intentional. So young tea, as you said
2016.
2016. Okay.
It is quite dark for 2016.
It is, yeah.
It is laced pretty hard with the gold.
Yeah, and we're letting this hang out for a little bit. And frankly, I have no idea what type of tea to compare this to. It's like not really close to any type of pu'er. It sort of brews up in between, if anything. Like
it's not like a black, it's not like a white.
So for those of you that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's very different, and you definitely got to suspend your disbelief in mold.
Yeah, for sure.
Like look, it's like it is a little cloudy, but maybe that'll clear up.
Yeah, not for the faint of heart. And I was telling Char before this, it's like, I have zero idea how this is going to age, if those flowers are going to increase. Looking at the brick too, and I filmed a couple close-ups before this. It's really interesting, the composition of it. It's almost like the outside of it has less of the golden flowers than the inside. So.
Yeah, when I took it home, I was like, "What? This has no flowers in it." And then I chiseled off some pieces, and definitely in the first couple sessions, it's more green tasting than honey. And then when you tunnel in there, it's like a lot of gold in the middle. And
is this the brick that you consumed at the festival too?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, so it wasn't at all.
He wasn't selling that one. That guy was cackling. He knew, like me and the other bloggers. I think he said, "Oh, you guys are the only ones that..." Because all the people at the festival are just there to buy like kilos of like Darjeeling and stuff.
Yeah.
And then we get some crazy bloggers that are like hanging around there and begging for
Yeah, I gotta say, I don't know who would consume this in tea bags, but I'm sure someone in some office accidentally has. And it seems like...
This is definitely tea that has a lot of feeling to it as well.
And it's really quite easy to drink. More of that yeasty character. This one is a little bit stronger. We would expect this to be...
Like, this is one I could... Do not show the tea first and have them drink. Make sure they're not celiac, of course. And you could probably, my dad, who's not a big tea drinker, would probably drink this and find this great.
Yeah, it's not off-putting. It's like not even totally... Like, in some senses, like, your basement tea pu'ers are a lot more foreign, I think, to the palate than this is. And this is different and unique, but it's, like, not crazy. It doesn't taste dirty at all or anything like that. Yeah. Here is steep number 3.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Still really smooth and honey-like.
Mm-hmm. And you were saying that you like this pushed, and I think I totally agree with that. This infusion, letting it hang out for a bit, and it's, I think, probably my favorite, at least, of the first 3.
I mean, it's like an 800-gram brick. You can definitely leave it hard.
Yeah.
And it's actually, and these teas are actually not expensive, which is kind of impressive.
And what is not expensive in this case, like price range wise?
Yeah, like I know, like this guy was $70 for me.
So $70
for 800 grams is pretty good.
Yeah. So we are drinking 6 grams right here. So this session.
I know, like Yunnan Sourcing has some. You know, like I think Chengwen Shop has some, and they're not too expensive. You also. They're the teas that I don't think they like to cut samples of either.
Probably not.
You have to get, like, when you cut this brick up, it makes a lot of mess. Like, there's a lot of mold everywhere.
And it's the things that tend to be pressed extremely large. So for those of you that think a Keikapur, like a 200-gram Keikapur is large, this is about 4 times the size.
Yeah.
And this is a small brick.
Yeah, this is this is not 2 kilo brick. Like, this is not the door stopper.
Yeah. I have a friend actually that bought like a kilo brick of this, and I think he just brought it to the office, and he probably brewed it for like a whole year. I can only imagine.
Yeah.
So I think for people, especially people that are not put off by mold and are into the adventure of tea, then this is definitely a worthwhile experience.
Oh yeah, and it's also good swap cred too. Like if you don't
Sure.
like it, like I'm sure people will trade you for it.
Yeah, so you could just buy it to trade with other people, literally. And you gave me this card. We'll link to the vendor site and stuff like that. Where can people find out more about you?
I'm on oolongowl.com. I have pretty good active Instagram account too. Also in the same name, Oolong Owl. But yeah, check me out.
Yep.
Try this. See if you can, I don't know, pester your tea vendors to get this guy's tea.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting. It's different, and it's probably one of the best, if not the best, food brick that I've had. Not that I've sampled it widely.
Like I always whip it out on every gathering.
Yeah, really tasty. Has sort of like this interesting, like yeasty, fruity, floral thing going on. I'm not even sure. It's something that I need to drink more to really understand, but it's tasty. It's not bad at all, and it's not dirty.
You're also talking way faster now. You're drinking this.
Yeah, so we are getting messed up on camera. And so for those of you who haven't checked it out already, definitely check out the previous episode where we don't drink any tea, but we talk about a lot of, I think, interesting topics. So check that out for sure. Thank you guys all for tuning in, and I will see you guys on the next episode.
Hey, bye.
Cheers.